Yo, what's up, everybody? Extra Mile Sauce back with our 5th episode.
Number 5.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys know the routine. To my right, A-Dub.
What up?
To my left.
Stephen, what's up, world?
Right. I'm gonna let you handle that.
Stephen.
I'm gonna let you handle
What's up out there,
that
my
over
ladies?
Ladies, can he get a nickname? Something? God, just be calling him Steph. All right.
That's the way it's always been, man.
That's true.
Every time you try to give him a nickname, he's like, "Nah, it's Steph, man. It's Steph.
Just Steph.
It's just
All
Steph."
right, we'll roll with it, man.
We cool.
Mama called him Steph.
So how's y'all weekend?
Pretty good so far, man. A lot of good football on right now.
A lot of good football on right now. Shout out Tom Brady.
Yeah, a lot of music this week.
A lot of whack music this week.
Come on, man.
All right, let's do it.
A lot
Okay.
of whack. It's
All
been
right.
a lot of
All
whack
right.
music this week.
All right.
My weekend been whack because the music that I was amped for this weekend been whack.
Don't get your hopes up, man.
Hey,
I've been
I-
telling you for a minute, man.
It wasn't just him.
Knife didn't bring it.
Knife the only one who brought it. Shout out to Knife for
Just
dropping
about the
the
only one.
best. It was like 4 albums that dropped, and the best one was a beat tape from Knife.
Right. So Knife
Thank you,
dropped
Knife.
a,
Thank you, Knife.
I
One.
said-
instrumental.
Instrumentals.
Right.
It's called Zion 2. Check it out.
Yeah. What is it, like 45 tracks?
Yeah.
That's how Knife do it, man. Like his
Best thing that dropped was
formula.
a beat tape.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad. And that's not a shot on Knife. I'm just saying, when you got MCs, you got people out here supposed to be spitting. We waiting this long for a project. We finally get a project.
And
you
we got
get,
one dope
You get
track.
beat by a beat tape.
We got one dope track this weekend.
What?
Kendrick and Cole.
Jeezy
album.
Alright, so
One
look,
dope track.
Jeezy was one of the people who let me down because the body of work is whack, but he got a couple of joints on that that's straight.
I'm tired of Buddy just being a constant contradiction, man. Like, don't associate me with the trap. But I named like 3 albums, trap something.
No doubt.
Like, what are you talking? I wore snowman t-shirts, but I don't like snow. Like, shut up.
That's
dog.
that age confliction, man. Where you know you're not supposed to talk about it no more,
Jeezy
but you're
let me
still
down.
down by law.
Right.
You got
Nerd
to.
let me down, for real, and that was whack.
I haven't listened to it.
I didn't
enough.
Don't waste
I didn't
your
like the
time.
Lemons
I
joint.
barely
It was
touched it
whack.
yet. I barely touched it, so I can't speak yet.
It was whack. Some of the
Yeah.
beats on there is dope. The music is whack.
Yeah.
It's whack. Yeah.
But let's just jump into one album.
Yeah.
Let's
From
get to.
this-
Let's take out the trash early.
What?
Yeah.
Let's take out the trash early.
Barsuda.
Yes. Let's take out the trash early, dog.
All right.
Let's get him
so,
out of here.
Marshall Mathers,
Whack.
Eminem, Shady dropped his 9th studio album
So disappointing.
on Friday. Dang, you gonna let me get it out, dog?
Nah, man, my heart hurt.
Your heart hurt that
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
dog?
My
Like,
bad.
chill, bro.
Get it off. I get it off my chest. I'm gonna let you.
All
go
right,
ahead
I'm gonna let you.
introduce the topic.
Revival. So he dropped his 9th album.
Should have called it Dismal.
Yeah, it was pretty trash. American flag on the cover. So we know his catalog. I think everyone knows his catalog. Marshall Mathers LP. I think I've fallen in love over the years with M's features and those things.
I
But
think a lot of us have.
yeah, I think whenever he's brought in for a 16, he always shows out for everybody. But this album, he dropped a single a few weeks ago called "Walk on Water" with
I still
Beyonce.
stand by the single being dope. I still like it
It's cool.
So he dropped a single, "Walk on Water," just a few weeks ago
with Beyonce.
with Beyonce. I will say it started to grow on me, but I still don't like it that much.
Okay.
I know you guys feel a little bit differently about it, like you guys are there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
But this man dropped a whole album that's pretty much that single to me. So
Super.
M has been known to be nitty and gritty and
Yeah.
bar heavy, dark at times. This album wasn't that. So just starting right out, content. What did you guys think?
It was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, M suffers from that. If you listen to all his albums, it's never really a lane that it's schizophrenic, if you will. It's kind of not placed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he suffered tremendously from that on this album.
Yeah. I think the message, it feels like he dropped the BET Cypher verse.
Yep. Which was cold to me. I thought
I loved it. But I think that got so much attention. I feel like he just rolled into, I'm gonna drop an album just like that.
Yeah.
And there's an attempt to be socially conscious throughout this album when we talk about the content.
Yeah.
But I think the way in which he's going about it is not something that we've seen from him, or something that I like from him.
When you guys saw the album and you just saw the cover with the American flag, then coming off the Cypher, didn't you expect that to be the album? That political.
So that's what I wanted. So I didn't want him. I didn't want him to just come on the Cypher and talk about Trump and talk about the injustices of black people, and then that just be that, and then him never bring it back up. I didn't want that. I wanted him to address it. I wanted him to bring more awareness. The same thing that I'm asking of Joyner Lucas is the same thing I was asking for M. Don't bring it up and then just let it fall by the wayside. Continue to let this be the conversation. I just thought that the way that it was delivered was terrible.
I don't think M had anything left to say after how many 6 minutes of bars. Like, I don't think he had anything left to say. Like, I think his attempt at it, like, I expected it, but I thought maybe we get 2 tracks like that, like, right, that are more socially conscious. But that's not really M's lane for real.
I'm okay with socially conscious M.
Yeah,
I just don't think that it wasn't put together well. The production was whack. The features is sporadic. This is,
and they weren't good.
Well, we'll kind of get into that. We'll get into that. Just message and
so
content.
what was the message? We don't know.
It was all over the place.
And that's my problem.
Like, I think he suffered from that. It went from the I'm gonna be socially conscious. I think there was track The Bad Husband.
Yeah.
Like, what was that about, dog?
Yeah. So if everything to me would have stayed like what's the second track, Untouchable, it may have been salvageable.
Maybe.
Cut 19 down to 12, maybe 11. It could have been a decent joint, but it was too much stuff.
But I think, and this is just a thought. Like, a lot of people suffer from that full album failure, I call it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the 12
Don't give them no
tracks,
excuse.
11. No, I'm speaking on it. I'm speaking on length of album, not giving any excuses.
No, I feel you.
But 12, 13 tracks, 11 tracks of fire, and no skits and no interludes and those things.
But that's what I want.
I'm saying that's what I want for an album, and I think a lot of people are on that. We want those full length joints. I want 20 tracks to get me over for the next 2 or 3 years.
Exactly.
But if you can't deliver 20 tracks of consistent dope content, leave it alone.
But M should be able to,
but
he's done it before.
But the streaming era is making people drop these full length albums, trying to do numbers, and that's what I feel like he was really trying to do. Was trying to do numbers. The content, I think, suffered because he was trying to pretty much appease a fan base that really doesn't love him in the way in which we do, right? So we love the bars, we love the flows, we love M rapidy rap. M.
He tried to rapidy rap on this.
I don't know what he tried to do.
He didn't.
But don't try it no more.
There was no
That's
clear
the only
vision.
thing I'm saying.
Somebody was in his ear like, this is what you need to do now, or this is how you can make some
They
extra
need to
money.
get out his ear. They need to get out the studio.
This wasn't a shady project.
This sounded like a 45-year-old man that's like, this my last one.
Yeah. Features. So let's get into that.
Whack.
Okay.
Terrible
So
features.
we have features from Alicia Keys. I think she did a good job to me. I don't think it was a good song.
It sounded like it tried to be too. I don't think it was. It phonetically, the way she sounded was fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
That's what she does.
The song was whack. It's a bad song.
Yeah.
So even in Alicia Keys, bad.
Skylar Grey.
Skylar Grey dud. She did what Skylar Grey did.
She showed up. She did her thing. Skylar Grey has a really, I'm not gonna say a limited lane, but she doesn't stray off of what she does.
Right.
So what she gave us is what I expected.
Right.
When I saw her name, I was like, oh, okay, I know I'm finna get for her.
Yeah, you know what to expect. Like, it's
About
not
to be sad. That's what you about to get from Skylar Grey.
Ed Sheeran.
That one was a surprise to me. I didn't really dislike that track. It was okay.
It was
right.
another
I think,
track.
but-
it wasn't that good.
It was just, it was just there.
I
I think he tried to pull names. He was
Yeah.
like, who popping right
Yeah.
now? Who's popping in
Yeah.
pop? Meaning like, who's popping in the pop culture?
Mm-hmm.
And he just pulled them together.
Yeah, it was just
And
it was just a
whack.
list of okay, these are the names that everyone's familiar with or everybody's listening to right now. Not in the hip hop world. Really trying to span across genres. And it just didn't do it for me. Like I don't think any feature I was excited. Like
None of it.
No. Like everybody came and did what they normally do.
Yeah.
Other than Beyonce, because I feel like that was a little bit
It
Yeah,
seemed
that
like
was-
for her.
that was
he was trying
different
to
for me.
catch a lot of Monster and what's the joint, The Way You Lie.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
trying to find that same thing on this album, and it didn't pop for him.
I don't know what the thought process was, what his plan of attack was with Revival, but never do this again. I was very disappointed.
What did you guys think production wise?
Whack.
It was bad.
I'm gonna just tell you like the point where I was ready to throw something.
Everything sounded the
Is,
same.
I see Dr. Dre's on the production, right?
Yeah.
And Rick Rubin. So Rubin is
You know what you
so
get from
diverse,
Rubin. Yeah.
right? But you know it's gonna be simplicity, but
Yep.
it's gonna be dope,
Yeah.
Some guitar is gonna be somewhere.
right?
Yeah.
But when I got to Dre, and Dre had that track. What track was it? Let me just.
I don't even think Dre produced that. I think he probably just added.
And it had
Put his name on it.
Yeah, they put his name.
He had the "I Love Rock and Roll" sample.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw. So
Terrible.
I said, if this doesn't pretty much just say what M is attempting right now, is I'm just gonna take everybody who's dope in the pop world. I'm gonna take samples that are familiar in the pop world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do all of that and then try to make something socially conscious or something that people might like. Not do M. Try to appease the masses.
Yeah.
And I think like at that point I knew it was over.
So did this album
It
seem
was
like
over
it
for
was
that
old
album.
stuff mixed in? The political stuff we know is new, but it seemed like the track seemed old to me. Some of the stuff.
It didn't seem old to me. It seemed slapped together. It seemed like
That's the
BT
issue.
Cypher. I'm running
Uh-huh.
to the studio.
It
Like,
is everything.
and now I'm just gonna call a few people that popping
Oh man,
right now.
I'm trending. Let's
yeah,
go in.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Like Royce, don't come for this.
For real.
Like, I think
got
he was
this one,
like,
man.
Shady,
Your
don't
pen
come
is
for
not
this.
needed.
Y'all can't be here for this. I don't want y'all to see this. I don't want y'all to see this side of me because it was that. I really felt like, what is this
But when
dude
you an
doing
MC
right
like
now?
him, why do you have to rush? You don't have to.
That's my thing. It's
We
like,
will
yo,
wait another 8 years for you to drop something
and
dope.
when you drop, people are going to rush to go see it. So and that's why when you as big as M is, don't let other people dictate what you're going to do.
I think that the biggest irony in this album is like what he spoke on in the first track, like "Walk on Water," like doubting himself and feeling like he's not appeasing the masses.
I'm doubting you now.
And then went
What
and
if
did.
this was the plan?
And went and did a
I'm
whole.
gonna throw trash together.
I feel like he was trolling. Do you feel like this was a troll
I
album?
hope.
That's
That
what
would,
it- I
that would make
agree.
me
Like a
feel
troll
good. That
album.
would make me feel good. If this is the troll album, M, you got
It's
me.
not a troll.
You
album.
got me.
This was
getting-
serious,
We're
but
like,
it feels
yo,
like
this
he's
is
trolling.
what you wanted. I gave you this. Now you still saying you. It's like, come on, man.
I ain't been this disappointed
next
in a
album,
long
Resurgence.
time, dog. It's
Yeah.
been a long time
Now
since
I will
I've been
say
this
this: like,
disappointed.
I don't want to bash it all the way because there was definitely some flows.
Yeah, he spit some
bars,
some of the stuff.
like,
He got busy.
I think it was the third verse in
when you got to go back and think and pull out a dope verse.
Chloroseptic. It was the
And-
third verse in Chloroseptic. I don't know if y'all remember.
Yeah.
it, but this man went nuts.
That was one of the bright spots on the
it
album.
was. It was. I would say that's one of the only bright
That was the
spots
joint with
to me.
what's his name, Fresher.
Fresher.
Yeah. It was.
It was an ode
alright.
to old Eminem a little bit.
Yeah.
That flow he brought for Believe to start out, I was so upset with. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, it sounded like he couldn't quite catch the beat. But
Yeah.
it's like I
But
know
why put
that's
that
not a
out
problem
there?
for
Yeah.
him.
Right.
Yeah,
But
that's
why
why
put that
I was
out
like,
there?
now I know you could dance all over this track if you wanted to. Why are you rapping like the beat skipping or it was terrible.
Yeah.
This was whack. This was a terribly put together project. I don't know what it is. I expected way more out of him because I know what he can do.
It didn't feel like Ruben, Dre, and Just Blaze were on this album.
It felt like
No,
it felt
I have
like
to go
Ashton
back.
Kutcher executive produced this because I was
He
getting
was
punked.
punked.
I was getting punked. That's why.
Like he made this album for TRL or something. TRL's bad.
I had to go back in Wikipedia and find where the Just Blaze track was because I missed all that.
Just Blaze had a track on here?
That's the Alicia
joint
Keys
with
joint.
Alicia
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Didn't
Okay,
even know.
maybe that.
Didn't
man,
even know.
It's sad, man.
It is.
I
It
feel
is.
like, and even with that, like I feel like Just Blaze and people like that were probably like, "This is what you want, okay."
Yeah, it's like
That's what you
man, you
want,
mess
okay.
around and you got it. You done got just probably like my favorite producer. You got him associated with this terrible piece of man.
He told me
listen,
keep the check. Keep the check.
Man.
Don't worry about it.
this was terrible. It was a whack album.
But he said something. I copied it down on Castle. He and I quote, "I'll put out this last album, then I'm done with it. 100% finished, fed up with it." What do y'all think about
You
that?
can't be not. I don't know. I don't know how you could lead a game like this.
You can't.
Like,
And how many-
imagine if Jay left after like Kingdom Come or something. Like, what would you?
Well, technically, Jay said he left before Kingdom Come, and he left on a good note.
Right. I'm saying.
Oh, I see. What you're
Let's
saying.
go back and imagine like he didn't drop anything after Kingdom Come. Like, is that how you would lead a game? You know what I'm saying? Like,
When-
you'd be upset with Jay to this day
Yeah.
if that's how he left the game,
Yeah,
right? If he leaves with 444, bruh.
he ain't leaving with 444.
I'm just saying,
When
if
you-
he did, I would be happy with that because you left us with something classic.
I feel you.
Like, if M leaves after this album, like,
He
bruh,
won't.
this is how you leave your legacy.
He won't. Because you remember when last episode we talked about people being in that realm or in that space as to whenever you drop something, it don't matter what it is, people gonna flock to it.
Yeah.
Even with this piss poor excuse for a project. If he drops anything else,
So that's
just
how you
because
really feel.
I am an M fan, I'm still gonna go for it.
I'm probably not gonna
Because he
listen to the
got
whole
way
album.
more. This goes back to hits and misses, right?
If I don't see Royce on the album, I'm not listening to it, man.
He
That's what he
still
needs
got
to
way
do.
more hits than misses. So I'm still an M fan. I'm still a supporter of M. This was terrible though. This was bad.
I'm still a M fan. I'm still a supporter of M, but I know I won't be running to check nothing out unless it's like a feature verse or something like that. Like, because it seems like the competition of those situations, he goes off. Like,
I feel you.
you know, even if we think like the BET Cypher that he did with the Shady 2.0
Yeah.
or stuff
Yeah.
like that, like he blacked out. Like, Joey went nuts.
He's smart
you
with his
know,
features, man.
and it was like, okay, Joey, I'm just gonna totally make Button look like he didn't belong on the same stage as me. Like, you can think. I mean, even back to like Renegade and stuff like there's nothing you could do with M.
I can take my
when M is in his bag.
and Andre 3000
Yes,
doses right
in
now.
J Electronicas
Yeah,
for the
I
rest
can
of
take
life.
him in those doses right now.
So I mean, listen. Usually when we critiquing albums, we go through the list of songs that we like and the verses that we like.
But then we didn't like any of them.
Exactly. So instead, I compiled a list of things that I'd rather do than listen.
So
to
this
Eminem's
segment is
album.
the things Aaron would rather do than listen to M's album.
Yes. I got to go through the whole list now,
give
but
me
I'm going to
two,
just
man.
sprinkle a few
Just
of
give
them
me
in
two.
there. Number one, listen to Stephen A. Smith read the Bible. That's number one. Number two, watch reruns of MASH. I'd rather watch reruns of MASH than listen to M's album.
So you're in a sunken place.
Yeah, something. Yeah. You remember back in the day when you had the TV channel guy, you had to scroll and wait to watch and see what come on. I'd rather watch that. Than
preview
listen to
guy.
him. Yeah. I got more.
So we gonna kick it off. Let's just get out of this.
I got more.
Let's just
but-
get out of here.
Yeah,
man.
let's get out of here because I got more on this list.
What do you rate this album on the mild sauce scale? So we know that the mild sauce scale goes from.
He can't get the mild sauce scale for this album.
He gets the mild
No,
sauce
he
scale
gets-
for this
he
album.
get- you-
How
you
much
have to rate
extra
him-
mild sauce?
He gets 1 cup of mayonnaise. M gets no mild sauce. He get a
this-
mayonnaise rating.
This project, you giving it 0.
0.
It's a
Yeah,
0?
no mild sauce. No sauce.
No sauce
None
at all.
whatsoever.
No
and
sauce for you.
it might be because I'm biased and I expect it so much. And I got such a terrible
Okay,
album. He
so
get
listening
no sauce.
to the album as a critic, not take the personal out. What would
Right.
you give it?
off the Beyonce feature alone and what was it? The joint with Fresher. Maybe one. No, he don't deserve one.
What
No
if they
sauce.
put
No sauce.
What
No
if they
sauce.
put Walk on Water at the end of the album instead of at the beginning?
Oh man, I would have been
That kind of it would turn the vibe
Still
a little
would be
bit. It
trash.
still would be trash, but it wouldn't be. You know,
Reporting
you
live
can't
from the
start
trash.
You can't start off with that track though, man.
man.
That's
it's
all
like-
he had, man.
I give it 3. I give it 3.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah,
Just because
I'm-
he
I'm,
had some rapidy raps in there.
Yep, that's
Y'all
exactly where I was
tripping.
going with it.
We gave-
Me and Steph haven't talked about it, but
Nah.
I would a 3.
We
3
gave
extra
Cypher
mild sauces,
4.5
bro.
out of 5.
Who are y'all?
This is 3.
This is a 3.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't 2.5. It was a 3.
He gave me some
Y'all
bars
bugging.
like
Y'all
that's
bugging. Nah,
this
no
is the
mild sauce.
I-
He get a cup of mayonnaise.
bro. You can't.
You
I
get
be
you
a
get
0,
cup,
bro.
You get a cup of mayonnaise. Yes.
I don't think it was a 0, man.
It's not a 0.
Zero.
Because
dog.
if we were to actually digest this album, I'm pretty sure it was about 9 tracks. And we can be like, okay, we can kind of compile a decent album.
It was whack. If you haven't listened to the M
Why
album,
you always talking to
don't
the camera,
listen to the
man?
M album
Chill.
because it was that bad.
It's trash.
It-
I mean, it's
exactly.
trash for M. Let me say that.
Yeah.
It's a 3. It's
No.
3. Give me
ain't
3 cups of
trash,
mild
dog.
sauce in the
3
bag.
is a
man.
decent album. If you
That's
got
not a
3, that's a
decent.
decent album.
No.
I
on a
agree.
scale of
No.
on a scale of
4
1,
is a strong effort. 5 is a masterpiece. 4.5 is a classic. 3.5 means it's
I gave it
above
some
average.
Go.
Yeah.
I gave it some go.
3 is nigga. I put something out and it's alright.
Nah, just alright is a 2. To me, if it's just okay, if it's an okay album,
That's
that's
below.
a 2.
Anything below 3 is straight trash. Like once you get below 3, like I think Uzi albums would probably be like a 2.
Yeah,
for
3
me.
is like my listenable. If
To
it's
me,
a 3, I
yeah.
can listen to it.
If it's a 2, it's average. If it's 3, is teetering on being a little bit above average.
There's
It's-
a couple
it's
tracks
solid.
just for flows and stuff like that that I'm gonna go back
This
and
was-
listen to. But that's it. I'm just
This
gonna go back
has
to
no
that verse.
playability. This got one spin. This got
You're an
one
extremist,
spin out
man.
of it.
It's either like 5 or 0. Like there's no
nah,
in between.
Not at all. Because if we go back and we rate other albums that dropped this year that I think was solid, then they might get like Crit will get like a 3.5.
No.
Yeah.
So you say Clit dropped the top 5 album this year and it gets
And
a
you give it a
3.5?
Yeah.
No.
This ain't been a good. This
you
is
the
not
Russian
been,
judge, bro.
This has not been a good year of
talking
music.
about, man?
This has
I'm
not
not,
been a good
and
year
I've
of
said
music.
Come on,
it has
man.
been an excellent year of music. I don't know what,
What?
you
I
listening
believe it's
to,
been a good year
man.
for
Bruh.
music.
Do you
man.
listen to music or do you just thumb through it, man?
It was a good year for music.
Don't drop no bars on.
I was just saying
man,
it wasn't even
please.
really a bar. I
Nah, I
skimmed through. I said thumb.
Same
You
difference.
said Crit was a 3.
and a half, 3.5, 4.
No,
Yes.
solid 4.
Yeah,
solid.
at the least.
I'm not
Solid
mad at.
at the
Okay,
least.
so if you say 4,
Solid.
then that's why I said
solid 4. Probably moving towards 4.5. Solid.
Okay,
Like
I'm not gonna say.
I don't
no
think
to that.
anything that you say would be like in your top 10 could be below 4.
Yeah, it can't be.
Nah, I disagree. This has not been a good year for music.
Listeners,
to me.
we know that we have the Russian judge with us.
I'll be
From
that.
this point forward,
I be that.
Man.
I'm
like
hey,
what this man gave Shy High a 5, and that's not a 5. So
Shy High was
it's not
definitely a
perfection.
What
Shy
is
High's
it?
not
Definitely
perfect.
a
4.5.
Yeah, that's about a 4.5.
We both, yeah.
Both of y'all
I don't think it
tripping.
was a 5.
That
this
was a
year.
5.
Y'all tripping,
That was a
tripping.
5, but Crit was a 3.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
If we
I
were
don't
to
think
get
there's
to
that much
5,
distance between those two.
I don't want to throw out
projects.
all our time. We're going to get to this show
No,
later.
I'm just
But
using reference
if we were to
points.
go to a 5 would probably be on the Rhapsody scale. For me.
It would be a massive. Like when I think of
4.5 for
5s,
Rhapsody.
yeah,
4.5.
yeah. Like
I
5
gave-
is a
I
masterpiece.
gave rap.
to me.
I would
Like,
give rap 4.
Now, we may not have had any Rhapsodies, any masterpieces this year, but we don't have some dope
No.
projects.
Yes, we've had a great year of music.
Joey was about a 4,
No,
4.5.
we haven't. We have not had a great
Yes,
year.
it
of
was.
music.
Yes, we. I don't know
We
what
have
you
not.
listening
We
to.
got a lot
man.
more trash than anything.
I don't know what you listening to. What would you rate the Wu-Tang album?
4.
Okay.
Wu-Tang is a 4.
3.5.
I wouldn't even dispute 3.5. About 3.754.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wu-Tang was a
3.754.
4.
We and you gonna have some rating like meetings, dog. I gotta understand your rationale, man. All right, well, let's move into something important that
So
happened
what's the
this
consensus
week.
before we get out of here? So we'll say M collectively is about what?
I don't even
Two
want
and
to
a half now?
collectively because
A cup of mayonnaise.
I would
that's
say
it.
I'm sticking with mine. You sticking with
I'm
yours.
sticking
He's
with
sticking
mine.
with his.
Three,
We
three,
three
zero.
individuals,
It's a teaspoon
and I think
of
it's important to
mustard.
keep the individuality in this, man.
M was whack. That's it.
Now
3.
watch next week.
Moving
We gonna come
on.
back and be like, yo, that track on them album was kind of dope.
Never.
Whenever we go back and we know this is not the last time we're gonna listen to this album.
It's
Because
gonna be
that's
fine.
how we are.
I don't need to revisit this.
I've been through it.
That's how we are as listeners. We're gonna go back to projects.
When y'all was, I mean,
We came in
today
and you was listening
today
to it.
was my third and a half, like, cause I didn't
Right.
finish
We
it,
came in,
like,
you was listening to it, and
3.5.
what did I say? Why you got this on? I said, why you listening to this?
You can
'Cause
roll
I have to
with
have
the
a
Bulls,
non-biased-
but you can't listen to the album again.
I got faith in the Bulls.
So you don't got faith in them.
I had it.
I'll be your fair weather friend.
This lost soul away from you, man.
Oh,
All right,
man.
but moving into next topic. I know you guys saw what the women in Alabama did
Big deal.
this week.
Yeah.
So our viewers, if you're not familiar, the women in Alabama. Well, there was a Senate race this week, and if you've been watching the news lately, one of the candidates allegedly is
It's
a pedophile.
What's his
Right.
name? Roy Moore?
Yeah.
Roy Moore, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So Moore is
He
allegedly
did
a pedophile.
Cue up that 50
Allegedly.
Cent.
Oh,
Cue up that
allegedly.
50 Cent
Nah,
meme.
man.
He did that.
Nah, man.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. He did it. He did that.
He probably did it. Allegedly, though.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh,
That's
man.
that's a big
It is. That's huge.
Yeah.
that's a big
Like, to ever be
allegation.
accused of that.
Right.
It's terrible.
So he's an alleged pedophile. And black women showed up to the polls and
As they
And
say,
droves.
showed up and showed out.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
So black women accounted for 17% of the vote in Alabama, and 98%
That's wild.
of black women
Yep.
who went to the polls
Yeah.
voted against him.
Yep. That's
Which so blacks in general have been credited with the
The
victory
Alabama
or his loss,
Mm-hmm.
but black women specifically
As they should
made
be.
a significant impact. So when we talk about 98% of 17 is what, 16.6. So 16.6 of the vote
Yeah.
was swayed by black women in Alabama, and that's definitely something to celebrate. Just knowing, especially in the South, what black men and women have been through, but just knowing what just fighting for equality as far as just having the ability to vote, not being seen as equals. The difference as far as what they make in comparison to men.
Absolutely.
I believe it's like 67 cents on the dollar. 65. It's 65 cents on the dollar in Alabama. And just knowing like that they've had to fight for everything.
Yeah.
A lot of single parent homes, things like that, and just knowing that there's a lot of poverty that they're fighting through, but they made it out to the polls.
Yep, and they've
They
been
made
getting
it
busy.
happen.
They've been
And
getting
they
busy
decided to
for
make a
a
difference.
minute. What article did you read?
So from I have to look it up. I think it was USA Today.
Okay, I got one from the Business Insider, and it just took a glance at the black women vote for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
From the 2016 presidential race, 94% of black women voted for Hillary, while 53% voted for white women, I should say, voted for Donald Trump. Between 2008 and 2012, black women voted at a higher rate than any racial or gender group, each time giving President Obama 96% of their vote. So the last 5-6 years or so, the black women been doing their thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And
One thing that I really want to do is I don't want to. We all stat heavy guys, no matter what we talking about. I wanna take a step back away from the statistics and not focus on who they voted for and who they voted against, but rather highlight the power of the black woman's voice.
yes.
Yeah, and that's in the community, hands down.
Exactly. So my thing is I feel like when you see how powerful their voice is and the magnitude of what they were able to accomplish, I think that's what we need to focus on. I really think that the unified voice of black women is scary to any Republican Party.
Absolutely.
Because of the power that they hold. You got to understand that it's not many things on this earth that's more persuasive than the black woman's voice.
Right. No doubt.
Right.
Mama knew how to get you in check with very few words.
Yes.
Right? Mama knew how to uplift you with very few words. You know what I'm saying? So if they can take this demonstration that they had in Alabama and they move it across the world, you got to understand they can sway anything that they want.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is the unity
Exactly.
that this showed amongst the black women. Like, and they accomplished something that hasn't been accomplished in the last 25 years, forcing the vote to being democratic in the state of Alabama.
Right.
Which has been pretty much looked at as like impossible.
And the same happened in Virginia too, not to throw you off.
Yeah. And I think the other big thing around it that really stood out to me was just when we talk about like Trump being in office, there was a lot of shade thrown to the black community, especially black, young black women and men not showing up to the polls, and that's what allowed this to happen. So to see on the flip side that black women totally erased
all of
that whole narrative that blacks don't go to the poll or blacks don't impact the poll.
When you have the full backing of the black female demographic, you can't lose.
Yeah,
that's a huge demographic.
You cannot lose no matter what you up against. If you have the full backing of the black female demographic, you can sway anything.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think black women are probably the strongest demographic. Like when you look at our history,
talk that
black
talk.
women are the strongest demographic that there is in this world. When you think about like what they worked through, the types of homes and things that they've come from, a lot of them raising families on their own and just making things happen. Just the way I look at like my mom, my aunts, and them, and just the impact that they've had on my life.
That's where your superheroes lie, right there. The black female demographic.
So they wear the capes, man.
Gotta love them, man.
So just very excited to see. I think it'll be great just for our next generations, for our kids and kids, just as something to speak to when we talk about voting or the impacts that blacks had, especially in the South. Especially in the South, where we've had such a bad experience over the last 4 or 5 decades. When we talk about segregation and when we talk about the whole school systems and things of that nature, but they made an impact in that place. So there's nothing that I feel like as blacks and especially black women that we can't do when we're bonded together.
I totally agree. I feel like the power that they demonstrated through being able to vote, it should inspire the rest of the women across the United States.
Not even just the rest of the women, just
the men too,
individuals in general.
I'm glad you said that. I don't want it to feel like there should be any division. I mean, because you got to understand is that's the main thing that's missing in the black community is us being able to come together on one accord. Sometimes we got a lot of good ideas and it's broken up into individual aspects and we get splintered off and there's a lack of unity.
But going back to slavery, like they did that to us.
And then if you even think about it, this should, a lot of people say my vote doesn't matter. This shows you if you go out and vote, your vote clearly matters.
Exactly.
I'm one of them people.
It clearly matters.
I have voted one time since I've been eligible to vote. I've voted once. I voted for Obama's first term because I always felt like it was like they don't hear my voice. I strongly felt. I mean, I've had this conversation a lot about me not feeling like my voice mattered or it was being heard or that I didn't have somebody fighting for my voice. The only reason I voted for Obama the first time was because I knew how big of an impact that would be to have a black president, to have a role model, to have somebody that I can say to have my children look up
exactly.
to.
And that's the story to tell.
Yeah, so I voted for that off of the premise of what this can be. The second time, I didn't vote, and I haven't voted since.
So seeing this, the question I have for you, does that change the way you think about voting? Are
Absolutely.
you still the same? Or
No, I would definitely vote now.
okay.
I would definitely vote. I mean, and when I'm saying, I'm not just talking about presidential votes. I'm talking about I didn't vote for Congress. I wouldn't vote on parent teacher conference meetings, and I mean, PTO meetings. I wasn't voting for
I'm
nothing.
not voting for what we having for
You
dinner
said-
Friday.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I don't vote.
Send me a survey when call T-Mobile. Nah, I ain't voting on that. Nah, I wasn't voting. This definitely changed my outlook.
That's
It
good,
was
man.
it was very inspiring. It was it opened my eyes to a lot, and what these black women did is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Big ups to them. You changed a lot of way that I see things.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
big ups to them
Yeah.
for sure.
So I know when we get to our next presidential election and things like that, when it just comes into like the recruiting of people to vote and things like that, like we have a leg to stand on right now, especially
sure.
in the young black communities. We have a lot of eligible voters. We have something that we can show them that where we impacted and what the difference was when we showed up to the polls.
Yeah.
So I'm
The
excited
proof
for
is
that. Yeah, because I was on the ADub train for this last go round. Like
I didn't know none of this.
Yeah, I wasn't voting.
Oh
Dog.
yeah. So I voted. No, I didn't vote. I didn't vote for the second Obama administration. Reason being though was within Chicago and being a Democrat, I knew just from following the polls and things.
He was
like
like, "We
that,
got this in the bag."
It was a landslide. Loaded Lux voice landslide. But I knew it was a landslide, so I didn't need to go to the polls.
I've just always
in Cook County, you know
been
what I'm
brought
saying.
up the importance of voting. I remember my mom and my pops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
mine
going to
too.
work,
Yeah.
doing that 2
It was
hours.
a
My mama was
protest.
pissed when
It's
she
a
found out I ain't
protest.
vote.
Yeah, it's like, so my parents called me, woke me up in the morning, everything. But I told them like it was a protest.
It's
Like
a
I was
rap.
protesting
It's a bag.
because the electoral college is ultimately
Now
a
that's
system.
one thing I feel that we need to remove because it's an old system
Yeah.
that worked back then for what they wanted.
Yeah.
It doesn't follow suit for anything that's relevant right now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. We don't need it.
Well, yeah, and I think like
But-
a lot of people don't understand the popular vote versus
Yeah.
The electoral
college.
votes.
So when I saw what we were as far as like polls and what Illinois was gonna do, I said, "Oh, we good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the
But
polls."
here's the thing: is now, even with the electoral college still being the standard of basically who's still going to say whether you get in or not, if you can continue to have these red states swing blue,
Yeah.
it don't matter
Yeah.
if we talking about popularity or if
Yeah.
we talking about the electoral college. If black people get out there and vote, it doesn't
can do
matter
that.
But
how
that's
they
the
set
thing.
it up.
The red states are suppressing that blue vote or that black vote.
Well,
Yeah.
you just take the bigger states. You take the Texases and you
Mhm.
take
Yeah.
the and you fight
Californias
over
and,
California
yeah.
and things like that. Like those votes, and they know the system, right?
Mhm.
You're just trying to sway 8 to 10 states in most cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then you have the presidency. Like,
But
so.
these states with the most, I don't want to get too far off on this, but the states that have the smallest population, if you will, have the most. So most people think California, Texas, but they don't have the most electoral college votes. It's other states that have more than them. They're the key states, if you will, for certain parties.
Yeah, and what I was talking about more so is like there's certain states that like it's gonna be virtually impossible to sway.
Absolutely.
They
Ohio
thought that
was
about
on its
Alabama,
turn.
though.
No, and
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but Alabama is what, and I think now they're gonna have to think totally differently about
Right,
Alabama.
'cause we
and then
could've- we
Florida
just-
just depends on if somebody in the Bush family wants to get
I
you.
picture if them brothers get out there too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah.
But then that's where it comes
But
back
they try to
to.
silence.
So that's what I'm
felonies
saying.
and
So
stuff
it's like
that,
yo.
So this will be interesting to keep an eye out on, especially with what Trump got, 3 more, to see what
Hopefully
happens.
not.
To see what
Hopefully we can
happens
impeach
if
that
he goes to
man.
term. If he
Yeah.
goes to term.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got 3 more. They ain't impeaching.
But
that
ladies
dude.
represent and good luck. That was a good
Yes.
luck.
That was a
Definitely.
huge move.
Definitely. All right, so let's move into net neutrality. So this I think has kind of flown under the radar.
For sure.
So right now, the FCC is working well. Not just the FCC, I would say Trump plays a major part in this one as well, with trying to repeal the net neutrality. So with 2014, I don't know if you guys remember that, Obama put out a video ultimately speaking to what net neutrality was and why it was important and why we needed to keep it in place. And then 2015, he did ensure that our Comcasts and AT&Ts and those people were not able to have any type of preferential treatment or things of that nature, that whatever was on the internet could be accessed at the same speeds. You couldn't block anything because I'm Comcast. I don't want you to see this or see that.
Right.
You had to have the ability to see and do everything on the internet, no matter where your service provider was. Right now, what's going on is they are working to repeal that. I think it just goes back to me, a lot of things under freedom of speech.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's
within
the heavy part.
Trump's administration, it seems like they're trying to take away from us. And I think they're trying to do it under the radar in a lot of cases where people aren't aware of what's going on. And when it's done, you'll see the impact, but it's too late. This is one of those things. By that time the bill
is passed, and you don't really have a say.
This is one of those things. So let's just say, for instance, Comcast doesn't give you the speed needed to listen to Joyner Lucas's I'm Not Racist, but Trump's speech on More is there, right? And you can view that at high speed.
Yeah.
Right.
It's monopolized.
Comcast can decide if we listen to Eminem's album, or Eminem's BET Cypher, where he goes at Trump, right? Or if we want to listen to a country artist, right? And totally just manipulates the internet. Also charging fees and funds and things of that nature for different services.
To break it down to something that people can really start to see is essentially they can start to sell you your services in packs. So if you want social media, they can say, okay, we will sell you the ability to use Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and all of that on a subscription service. So it might cost you $100
and we joked about that. We called it the Netflix of the internet.
So basically they can charge you a subscription to just be on the internet. Just to use an app, because you already paying Comcast or AT&T or whoever you already paying. But now, if you want to use Facebook, they can charge you for a subscription or any services.
And I think it's so much bigger than that to me, though. Because those are obviously things that are important. But just think about their filtering of what we're able to get to, right? So if they don't want you to see that there was a school shooting in North Carolina. You don't have to
they can blank that out.
And I think it silences the voice. Think about the way we use Black Lives Matter and we use the internet for the social. Let's go downtown at this time. It silences that too. So it silences our right, like you stated earlier, to speak our mind, freedom of speech. So all of that is compromised when you have to pay for something.
Or even if they can filter it out and say that our customers aren't. We won't allow this on this platform or when utilizing our service, right? So think about if I have to go to Starbucks to be able to watch a black man speak, right? But while I'm here, like at home, I can watch Trump speak and that's it, right? So I'm filtering what you're allowed to intake, right? And which I think the pricing and things like that, like people are gonna fight that tooth and nail, and the consumers can stop that by saying, okay, we're all gonna boycott this or we're all gonna boycott, that, and then they'll be forced, right? They'll be forced in those situations. But if you can stop us from getting to information that's important, I feel like that's way bigger than $20 a month. right?
Yeah.
Our decision making. Let's just say that they're talking, our vegans, are pumping out there that, there's cancer in the chicken and things like that. What if you didn't even have the ability to make that choice? What if they said, okay, we don't want that out there, and they communicate with, the AT&Ts and all of that and say, okay, we need to filter this out.
And the best way to keep you down is to keep you ignorant.
Exactly.
It neutralizes our community.
Exactly.
That's what it does.
Yep. And I feel like this relates to me, I guess, like when we think back to about slavery and not letting us read.
Yeah.
Right. So not letting
That's
us
a very
have the
good
knowledge
Yeah.
that will help us to move forward. And I feel like, okay, so we're just going to do it in a different way, right? Back then it was just books. Now we're going to take away one of the key resources, which is the internet. We're going to make sure that it's not a level playing field. And we're going to spin it as it's going to be something that's good for you, or something that is going to create
Somehow
competition.
this is gonna help you.
Right. But this is ultimately them trying to get their message or get this passed. And then after that, they're going to do whatever they want with it. And that's what I'm scared of, personally.
Yeah. And it is scary when you can start to think about how they can manipulate, they could twist and turn anything that they want. They already do it with the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then they leave it up to you to decipher what's real, what's not, what's fake news, what is what's being manipulated, how is it being pressed to you. But now you're talking about just absolute total censorship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They will have the ability to not skew things or change things, but just all out block it.
Yep.
They can just say, okay, well, we don't want our customers to see this particular thing.
Exactly.
And then you'll never know it was there.
Exactly.
The first thing I thought about when we discussed it in our meeting was Nas track, Sly Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the first thing when I started reading the article. I was like, this is what he spoke about, how many years ago? 7? Close to it, maybe, give or take.
Yeah.
7 years ago, man.
Yeah. And I'm scared of what this means for us if we allow this to be repealed.
It's closer to what's it? The one world order, that thing.
The New World
New
Order.
World Order.
Yeah.
It's closer to that because everything is going to be monopolized.
Yeah.
Very true.
And one person is going to have their hand on the pulse of everything we do.
Yeah.
And biblically, I mean,
Yep,
it even says
absolutely.
that, like if
Absolutely.
you read through like Revelations and things like, it
Yep.
talks about everything getting down to 1 or 2.
Yep, Unitarian.
Net neutrality and Bitcoin are scaring the hell out of me
That's
right now.
that Bitcoin. Yeah.
That is scaring the hell out of me.
Yeah,
right
cryptocurrency, any type of
Yeah.
cryptocurrency.
Right.
But cryptocurrency, I mean, get in while you can.
I mean, yeah, it is.
Get in while you can.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that. Just make the money while you can. But yeah, it is scary when you think about it. In the long
We got to
term.
pay attention. A lot of signs are showing themselves. It's
Yeah. But yeah, so as we really but please pay attention, like listeners, please pay attention to net neutrality. Read everything you can on it. I know Twitter is a very big space right now. Lupe Fiasco had some great things that he shared around it.
On Instagram
and just
too.
what it means for the music business and things like that. And that's a choice, right? If they can take that choice away, just think about some of the people that you listen to and things like that. They can decide they don't want 21 Savage. They can decide they don't want Lupe Fiasco. They can decide Eminem's album, we don't want that distributed to the masses. And that could change even what you are consuming as far as like music, which is big for a lot of people. So it's really gonna hurt artists and things like that, I think. But yeah, it's really big right now. And they're trying to fly under the radar with repealing this.
Yep.
So Obama put it in place for a reason.
Right.
And as you understand more and more about it, you'll be definitely in line with what Obama's stance has been on it, because it will allow us the freedom in which we've had up to this point. When they start taking your options away,
the knowledge and awareness is everything right now. The last thing we need to do is to be ignorant or to be unaware of what's going on around us, because they gonna try and change all of these things in the middle of the night. without you knowing. They passing bills.
Oh,
they
no doubt,
they
man.
drawing up legislature to rob you of simple things, your natural rights, and they gonna do it if you don't pay attention.
And Trump's already been accused of that. Well, hasn't been accused. It's been known that he's done that.
Yeah, I mean he said that from the jump.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of his MO. Like, take away your options.
Just get informed. I know the cliche is stay woke, but get as much information as you can.
Yeah.
Inform yourselves.
Yeah. Okay. But that's something that we'll pay very close attention to over the next few weeks and months.
Yeah.
We really don't want to see that repealed. So we have to make sure that we stop that from happening.
Agreed.
All right.
By the way, I'd rather watch Baby Boy on BET than listen to Eminem's album.
Man,
Baby Boy on BET, not that bad.
That's not.
It's not that bad. No.
Without the curse words?
It's not that bad. You know the words.
Forget your fort, little brother.
They don't do it like that no more, man. They saying the words. They saying the words now, man.
Oh, word?
They put it on after a certain
show you how long I done watched
taste
BET.
now,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Well, possibly like they get a little taste.
They get a little taste.
They get a little taste now there.
Forget your fort, little brother.
Yeah.
Jody, give me my baby back.
Is it after like a certain hour or whatever, like 10 o'clock or something like? Yeah.
Oh man, it's terrible.
Yeah, the censorship is different.
Yeah, but
after a
that's
certain hour.
better than M's album.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely. I will watch that. Definitely.
What else we
right.
got next?
So Black Thought's Funk Flex freestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, we get into some good music. That's right. Let's break that out. Let's talk about that.
Black Thought had a 10-minute freestyle
10
on Funk
minutes.
Flex
That boy
this
was
week.
cooking.
What was that, Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday this
Cooking.
man dropped. So when I saw it, y'all know how I feel about Black Thought. Like, Black Thought is one of my favorite rappers, like top tier rapper to me.
Yeah,
And so anytime I see anything with him in freestyle in the heading, I'm like, I gotta go sit somewhere and process this. Like, I can't be around other people. And when I finally pressed play, Black Thought blacked out for
Bananas.
10 minutes. He switched flows like 25 times.
Bananas.
The wordplay was nuts. He went so many different directions.
His
like
10
I can't
minutes
even.
had more content than
M's whole album.
M's album.
Definitely.
It
Here's
was
the
a
thing.
focused 10 minutes of freestyle.
I've
man.
watched it.
My man was
Eminem's
sweating
album
with
is
his
what,
fedora
18,
on,
19
getting
tracks.
busy. Yeah.
It's a little over an hour.
Yeah.
It's time's worth of play.
Mhm.
I've watched the Black Thought freestyle at least like 7-8 times now.
Yeah.
So I done got about the
You
same
about the
amount
same.
of play.
Yeah.
This is way better than the album. This
So
10-minute freestyle.
So I had Loaded
That's
Lux as the top freestyler this year.
and I
Okay.
bashed you as soon as you
Wait,
said it.
chill out, bro. Why don't you have no chill,
I was
bro?
about to say, yo, chill.
It
man.
ain't-
It's
Man.
non-existent. bro.
Exactly.
Man.
Chill,
So
chill is
I
at a
had
zero.
Loaded
Focus
Lux.
on you, man.
Right. Pray for you, brother.
Please do. I need all of that.
Well, I had Loaded Lux as the best freestyle. Just when just think about wordplay, flow, how complex,
To that point, he was.
triple entendres, things like that. But that was written.
Yeah.
When my man's Black Thought came out the other night and stated that was a 10-minute off
Off the top.
like off the cerebellum, dog.
Even if it
Like,
wasn't.
This man had treadmill sweat spitting, so you know
Bruh.
he was going in, man.
10 minutes,
Heavy.
didn't miss a breath.
Heavy. Yeah, his breath control on that was crazy. We was just talking
And the
about
complexity.
Man.
that. It was definitely
Man.
a bright spot. After all of the whack music that I listened to since Friday, I needed that.
I mean, he went from everything about his childhood to the government,
Right.
to black on
How
black
crack
violence,
impacted
to
the
crack,
communities.
How
Yeah.
crack
Like
impacted
this,
him and his
my
household.
God.
He went through the
He
gambit.
went all of it.
He gave you a full album in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he got a little gutter in the beginning.
Yep.
I thought that it was bars. Just
It's
bars.
everything that makes Black Thought
Yeah.
over 10 minutes, man. And I just felt like Black Thought, like, where does he land in y'all?
He don't get enough
in
credit.
your top rappers of all time. Like, if you making a list, where do you put Thought?
You know my affinity for Thought. If we was to hold a broad scale, he's in my top 20, top 25.
So I was
Just thinking right now, he's maybe closer to that 15, between that 12-15 range. But for the amount of time he's done it, if I actually sit down and listen, I wouldn't be hard pressed to put him in the top 10.
top 5.
he's top 10 for me.
Okay.
He's top 5.
And I will say this:
But
have
we
you
all
ever
agree
heard
he's
of
in that top 25.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
have you ever heard a whack Black
No.
Thought verse in your
Never.
life?
Mm-mm.
Like, there's only a few rappers I put in there. Like,
Even if you go back, we mentioned it earlier, talking about Do You Want More and Organics, the old stuff when the style and the vibe of music was different, it still was thought-provoking and still was dope.
yeah, he's lasted the test of time.
That's what I was
Like,
about to
you
say.
can't-
He's found a way to evolve without dumbing it down, with always still being able to remain relevant. It's huge.
And we talked about that driving in. Aaron and I talked about how rappers that we grew up with are in that 45, 50 range, and they're sounding better than they did
still
in their
killing it.
20s.
That's just
So-
wisdom and knowledge, man.
And I'm glad you brought up the fact was like, okay, where do you put Black Thought? Because I was having a conversation with myself, and I was like,
You didn't answer, did you?
yeah, of course I did.
Never supposed to answer. Never say we when you're talking to yourself.
Oh no, so I was listening.
My mother said that this morning.
Like,
You can't
no,
say we when
it
you're
was
talking.
us.
He was looking in the mirror like, what we gonna do, bro?
It's like what us
man.
finna get into today?
No,
So
you can't,
I'm sitting there,
you
I'm
can't,
like,
you can't do that.
so I'm like, yo, Black Thought has continuously been creeping up my rankings just over the past, few years. And then after he dropped this, I was like, okay, it's no way he cannot be in your top 5. And I was like, okay, Self.
Who's
If
that
you-
5?
I was like, if you take, if he's in your top 5 now, then who you taking out? M made it really easy for me. Eminem made it really
As
easy.
much as you like M, I
As
think
much
that was an emotional thing. You're not taking somebody you love out your 5.
I did
A-Dub
now.
moves on emotion.
Yeah,
man.
you can't do that. You can't take somebody you
It's
love
okay.
out
That's
your 5.
just-
It's okay to be emotional,
No,
bro.
it's not, man.
Hey, look, don't.
No. You gotta make.
What? Why is it not?
You
okay?
have to think through things, man.
How
I
is
think
this
like
not- how
you
is
get
this
caught
not
in the
That's not
emotions,
rational at
man.
all,
That's
man.
not
Why
from a
ain't
man,
it?
dog.
Why ain't it?
Not
It's
from-
like you said,
Music.
Not from a
Mike.
true
I love
hip-hop
Mike.
fan.
Mike had a bad game. Now he's not.
Nah,
Mike
he's not.
no more.
Right.
Nah.
He's not top 5
That's the
anymore.
same thing.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
No,
He
it's
had a
not.
bad series. This
No,
is the
it's
equivalent
not.
of having a bad series.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
So
I ain't like them shadow back boys. I ain't buying mics no more,
Right.
man.
Nah.
That's what that is.
It's not at all. Because first of all, you gotta put it in a perspective like this. First of all, music is emotional.
But okay.
You can't sell somebody to remove emotion from music. That's what it is.
So we have 9 albums, solos, right? We have D12 album. We have the joint with him and Royce. What's it called?
Bad versus Evil.
Bad
Meets Evil, Bad
Bad
versus Evil,
meets
something
evil,
like that.
bad versus
Yeah.
evil, something like that, right? We have his features.
All the lyricist lounge
Yeah,
stuff.
like
I'm not
the
everything
sound
M has
bombing.
ever did, and one miss for you is just.
So that
out
just
my
means he
top
just.
5.
Yeah, that just means he.
For
I'm
life,
not saying
like-
that. Okay, so look, I'm not saying
So
he's
if
going
it's
from 5 to like 50.
So if number 10 is dope album from him, if he drops another one, you taking Black Thought out.
So Black
putting it
Thought
back in?
all of a sudden.
Nah, I mean, but here's my thing is, okay,
We had to see your
20,
emotions in
20
the
some
moment.
odd years or something back. 20 some
You
odd
might be
years
emotional
back.
that
No,
day, too,
check it out
man.
because you wanted to take it to
I like the
sports.
artwork.
Listen to this. 20 years ago, they had the 50 greatest players in the NBA.
Yes.
If you do it now, it's different. That don't mean that them niggas was whack. It just means it's different now. M
Is
is being
it,
surpassed.
okay? But does it? So what I'm saying with that is like, ultimately, but okay, if we would have asked you this on Tuesday, right? His album came out on Friday, and Black Thought's freestyle wasn't out. Is he surpassed?
Nah.
So one freestyle and one album totally changed your
that's-
top 5 list.
That's enough to move
That's
me.
crazy.
Why? Why is that crazy?
That's
What-
ridiculous.
Every
That's
game, every
one-
time LeBron James is stepping on the court, he's passing
So
somebody.
one
in some
good
type
game,
Of
so
ranking.
one triple double, he's in your top 5 all time.
No.
That's what you just said to
No,
me. One triple double and one
No, you obviously ain't
and
listening.
one
then.
and one. Who would be 5th in your list of NBA players?
Who?
Just-
LeBron ain't top 5 in my NBA.
I know he's not. That's why I used to.
So are you
So somebody
asking me
who's in
for
your
my
top 5, just anybody that's in your top 5, other than Mike.
Bird.
Okay, Bird, great example.
Perfect. Because I know where you're going.
Bird has a bad series against LA, and Magic gets the best of him, right? And it's both happening at the same time, right? At the same time as LeBron is in the league. But LeBron goes for back-to-back triple-doubles. So now that would make LeBron better than Bird.
No. So my whole thing is this: I don't want it to feel as though it's predicated off of just one freestyle and one bad album.
Okay.
Because let's take it back. The album before this, Marshall Mathers LP 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Okay, so that's what I'm ultimately getting to. Like, it's not based off of this one. So you feel like M has been tapering off.
Yes.
For
This just brought it to a head.
Okay.
Because
then I live with that.
The amount of things that Black Thought has continuously been releasing is just dope after dope after dope. As opposed to you take the last 3-4 Eminem joints.
Okay, so Larry Bird's Back went out in 90.
Yeah.
So 90 to 92, he's having bad years.
And LeBron is continuing. Right?
Yeah, I think 92,
end of the career.
Right. So he retires early 90s, and LeBron is still playing consistent. That's what you're saying.
But here's the difference is that Black Thought and Eminem is relatively the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm just saying. I'm pretty much saying like it's the same era, the same time frame. They're the same age. All of that.
Yeah. You've been. I know what you did. I know what you're capable of. There's nothing that anybody can do. He would have to release.
M isn't in my top 5, so I'm not arguing on
it.
It's
weird that you're saying this because remember we had that conversation about LL, and I'm like LL's in my top list, and B was like no, but my affinity for LL from everything from or like a Panther to even the stuff that came out in the latter years, GOAT and all that. That doesn't change my placement of him on my list. He's not moving on my list.
People can move on the list, in my opinion.
They can move on the list.
But it wouldn't be if you love this MC,
like
it's not going to be that drastic.
Thing. Yeah. Right. Because
so I'm not saying it's drastic. You just moving out of the top 5. He's still top 10.
Where is he at in the 10?
Here's my thing.
Is he at 6 and Thought moved from 6 to 5 and they just swap places?
It's like, okay, so mine, I've always just broke it up into 2 tiers. Top 5 and then 5 through 10. Because depending on how my mood is, how I'm rocking, it might be somebody higher than the other. For years, Jay-Z was my favorite rapper. But if you ask me for like the last 2 or 3 years, give me Nas all day. So my top 5 right now is Jay, Nas, Big, Black Thought, and Andre. That's my 5.
But that's subject to change, depending on your mood.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
no, yeah. I'm not even saying it's those guys in that order.
Just that's your 5.
Yeah, that's just my 5.
Okay.
One day Andre I just might be feeling Andre, and Andre.
So yours is going by mood.
Yeah.
When I hear the list, this is your top 5 list just off MC and static.
Yeah.
Not how you feeling that day, that vibe, that playlist. It's go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying that's what I'm on. Is like this is your list, like it's cemented, like at this point in time, like these are my top 5. Not because today I'm in a dark mood or if I have a happy mood tomorrow, like this person might jump in it, right? Like, but this is if I could only take 5 MCs with me to a desert isle, and they the only people I could ever hear rap again. These are my 5.
List is static, I believe.
I can't do that.
You'd be like, nah, send them back. Bring I
want to be happy.
Like I'm tired of him.
Right, bring the boom.
I'm tired of him. You'd be like, you know what? Don't even just
Gilligan. We can't.
It's like he can't. He just got to go back to the boat. He just got to go back to the boat.
There ain't no boat because you be.
No, it's a boat. It's a boat. He just got to stay on the boat. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Nah, it don't work like that, man.
I need a
me.
solid.
Remember we had that discussion.
Music
you
is
had one
so
album on this island.
And you know how hard that was for
you
me?
to love. You told us you love M.
I still do.
And then it
if
just
you
be
can
like,
only
I woke
5,
up.
M not coming. Based on what you said earlier.
So you can't take none of his catalog with you.
You love him, and you just removed him.
That's cool.
It shouldn't be that easy.
No.
Why not?
It's
I was about to ask you this question on Wednesday. You wouldn't have said that.
Music is
it the freestyle tomorrow.
Right. M drop a 10-minute freestyle, and Black Thought puts out a bad album.
No.
No. I'm asking you, just hypothetically, right? M drops. Okay, next year, Black Thought comes and says he's dropping a solo project, and he comes, and it's not called Revival. It's called the.
I need a resuscitation.
Right.
That's
Emphasis
about
weak.
what it's gonna take.
right? And he comes and he drops trash, right? And M drops a 10-minute freestyle that day that is the equivalent of what Black Thought dropped. Do they switch spots again?
No.
I think they switch spots again on your list.
No,
because you just told me. Because you just told me your emotions would make you
earlier.
Because, but I literally, I also just said that M has dropped subpar projects over the last few years.
I'm saying like from an emotional standpoint, like. So if they drop just like that, then we just gonna go. Thought is still top 5.
Yeah, if you're talking about just one, if you're saying he drops one dope album and then M drops one dope album and then Black Thought drops something that's whack.
I'd be scared of you because you just be so extreme. It's like
cool.
trash.
My thing is this:
trash,
you can't
good.
sit here and tell me that music ain't emotional.
It is.
Well, then
but what we're saying is your
But
5.
I don't think one
like
bad
all
album
time
takes your
It's
personal
not one
favorite.
bad album. It's multiple bad albums. We talking about Relapse that was whack.
But he
We
was
talking
in your-
about Recovery, which was.
But he was in your 5 with those bad albums. So this
like
was that
consistently
you over the top
dropping
to
bad
remove
albums.
Your favorite.
Because nobody else from that 5 through 10 spot has done anything. Huh?
You love DMX. Where's DMX?
5 through 10.
5 through 10.
Yeah.
So if he drop an album that's dope, his next album, he moves up. And if it's bad, does he go down?
6 through 10.
You keep
right?
saying one. You can't just
Because
drop
you
one.
said, but you said M's one album is what. Made
No,
No,
he said
I know,
this
I'm
in the
saying-
last one, but
No.
But
Is
you
this
can't
is
do
the
that.
last one? Is Relapse? How can I?
You.
First of all, I can't. I'm never gonna tell.
What did you rate his last album prior to this one?
What was the last one?
Relapse.
Recovery.
Recovery.
Recovery was solid.
And that probably
What's
was the
your
best
on the
album
mild
I've
sauce scale?
On a mild sauce scale,
Just so I can get a feel.
2.53. 2.5 to 3.
No. Recovery wasn't that bad.
That bad? No, that's what I'm saying. It was solid.
But you gave it a solid for a 2.
2.5 or a 3.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Recovery.
So it was below
would've been
average?
like a
That
4 for me.
okay. So then we got to get a better understanding of what
2.5 would be the average mark.
Yeah. So yeah,
right?
it's solid.
So if it was
2.5 is solid.
because
2 point solid to good.
good would be 4 to me.
No. Oh, okay. So then
Good would be 4 to me.
it's a decent album. It's not
Decent
trash.
would be 3.
Right. That's what I give it. A 2.
3.5 would be lukewarm. Like to me.
Okay, so then we kind of there then.
Okay.
It's a 2.5 to 3. Relapse was whack. It wasn't as bad as this, but it's whack.
I agree.
So his last album actually wasn't Recovery. It was Marshall Mathers LP 2 or Marshall Mathers 2, which was whack. That was bad.
Yeah.
I get at a 1.
We gonna keep working on these lists later, man.
Yeah, that was so. If
okay.
you say that, then the culmination of all of that,
We're gonna have to just write
mediocrity
out these
or
lists.
being just whack.
You're a better person than me, and I'm gonna tell you why. If it's somebody that I love, I'm not moving them out my list based off one joint. And I keep going.
It's not off. He said it's not off one
not
joint.
one
That's
joint.
because that's the space I was in. But it's not off one joint.
But LL, we know, had trash after Who Shot You, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say it was trash. He had singles, he had hits,
Yeah.
but he's not moving out of my top 4 or 5 based upon the cachet that he built up before.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with what he did towards the latter part of his career to keep him where he's at.
Yeah,
That's how I feel
and
about
I
X.
think that's having
That's
a
how I feel
bias.
about DMX.
And I'm totally cool with not having a bias. I just wanted to make sure it's not based off of one
I get you.
body of work. And so if that's not the case, then we good.
Nah.
We Gucci. But I can't like from
Don't
a
say that no more, man.
we Gucci.
Come on, man. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm
back.
sorry.
But no, but I agree. I'm sorry, the kids be saying that too much.
Yeah,
to me,
I
man.
understand,
Why be
man.
trying to train them and stuff? They always
I
wanna talk about
understand.
But yeah, so when I get back to just like as long as it's not based off of one project, I'm cool with it. Like
Nah.
because it's your list, and I think we're gonna get into that at some point, like what your list is.
He made Thriller.
We gonna wrap it up.
I'm sorry, man. He made Thriller. Who said that? Chappelle, right?
Yeah.
He made Thriller.
Yeah, but I mean, your list is obviously you pick your list, but I think we talked about what the formula is for. Like, I really look at as far as lists. I look at the majority of your albums must be like 4s to 5s to me, so classic level or borderline classics. Like your mixtapes need to be, that's included in projects.
Okay.
Your features, so I would say 85 to 90% of your features have to be like fire, like you washed everybody on the track. Like these are my like your top tier rapper, right? And then like anything that you touch, like
But
I
it's
should
subjective.
be.
That list,
but
that criteria is subjective.
It is to an extent, but like obviously, like, but if we can sit together and pretty much go through that and say, okay, this is a hit, this is a miss, and we're somewhere near the same number,
so,
like then.
So let me throw it out. I'm gonna throw my number one is KRS-One. A lot of people may be like, "Yo, KRS-One, what has he done?" Then if you go off that scale, but to me, based off MCs, KRS-One is my favorite.
And that's
MC.
the only thing that should matter. Is
That's
your
what I'm saying.
opinion. The only thing that
So the mixtape features and all, unless we're doing a
well, I'm just saying,
list.
right. I'm saying like if I'm trying to put together my top 25 of all time, like this is how I organize. But I would say that like my top 10 to fall in that top 10, these are the criteria, right? Anywhere below that, we can, whatever. That's matter of preference. Like,
but that's the mythology around it. But with an actual your personal favorite list. Like Aaron was stating, I was playing the devil's advocate, Aaron. What Aaron was stating is that list can be your favorite list, right?
Yeah, this is your favorite list.
Me personally, I go back to myself. I don't believe that I can change and take someone out my list based upon, if I like them, they're going to be in my list. I got Most Def high on my list. A lot of people don't have them high on lists. Yeah, but then if you go into lyrical categories and we break down what your system is, he should be high.
Right.
On your list.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like
it
when I look at
who you talking to.
No, I'm talking about just me and my list. These are the criteria I have for my list. I'm not saying Aaron's list should
so you said albums, mixtapes,
mixtapes, features. There was one other. I'll remember it later. Obviously, when we not doing a podcast.
And that's probably the criteria everyone should use.
Right, but I'm saying these are my criteria. And for you, if you feel like it falls in that, then for you, then that should be in your top 10. I feel like, and if it's not, then okay, then you will probably have a hard time saying this is my top 10.
Who is your top 5 just off the top?
I can't do it. I don't want to compromise.
You said what did you say?
The integrity of my list.
Hey, Aaron told us it's subject to change, man.
He already told us.
That's right. Yeah. I'm cool with you switching it up.
As long as we got Big in our top 3, I'm fine with everybody here.
Big is somewhere up there.
Top 3.
Depending on,
as long as you're in your top 10, I don't care.
Depending on where.
Yeah,
Pac
I'm saying.
Did you get some
I'm talking
information?
about y'all. No,
Did you get some information?
I mean,
because Big is definitely up. Y'all know Big is up there for me. But
yes.
I'm just saying, if I ran into a random dude on the street and he said, "Oh, Big is 14," like, we gonna have to shoot the fair one. Like, that's
dang, but you wanna. And music ain't emotional.
Right.
And music ain't emotional, but he ready to throw them hands. If Pac
like
is,
if you claim you a hip hop head and he like 14, like we gonna have to shoot the fair one.
What if Shorty like 12?
You probably still gonna have to shoot the fair.
He
just may not know. He just may not know, man. I gotta school the kids, take them under my wing.
Brandon doesn't like. I'm not gonna say he doesn't.
I don't.
He says that I'm too 90s hip hop.
You are.
So my list.
But ain't nothing wrong with that.
Is compiled because that golden age from that 95, that 93 to like 97.
No, this is my problem with you. It's the fact that you just totally be like, nah, he can't rap, or I don't listen to him because of one verse, and I be like,
Big
bruh,
O.
huh?
Big O. Big O.
If that's what you want to be, I don't never want to.
But it's there are new cats that I like, and you know it's new cats that I like, but I don't rush to put them.
No, I'm just saying, just get a music a chance, man. You know what they say when they hand you the mixtape.
Yeah, man. Nah, but if you got colored dreads, I can't take you serious.
But
man. I can't
Joey Bad had colored dreads for a second.
You ain't rocking with Lil Pump. Gucci gang.
Nah, man.
That's top 5. He's on my top 5 after Gucci.
Top 5. What, drug addicts?
I'm just playing.
Top 5 drug addicts.
Top 5 jump off the boats.
Exactly.
All right, y'all.
Buddy whack.
We gonna have to wrap it up. This one could go on forever, and I think we will just have an episode where because this is an argument for for the
was healthy.
ages. It was a healthy
Aaron needs to get
discussion.
that off.
I
Man.
did, man.
He needed to get that off.
We needed to
felt
spar a little bit.
I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We needed to spar. We ain't sparred like that. In
Oh, it's gonna
second.
get worse once we do this end of the year talk. It's gonna get worse.
Real talk though, if Black Thought stay on this wave and I don't see him changing, he's gonna move up in my list.
He's in my top 10. He's in my top 10.
He's
And
gonna
every
move up my list.
and every time, I mean, the consistency. Every time a Roots project comes out and he kills for the whole project, again, he's putting together the body of work.
Big Rakim, beware on my list.
Yeah.
Beware.
Damn.
There's some shifting going on.
See,
Big can't do nothing
that's what
else,
I'm saying.
man.
The shift makes sense.
Yeah.
So and I was finna get into another tangent
wrap it
about.
up.
Go ahead.
Wrap it up,
So
B.
Big,
I can edit.
that's the reason why Big has to be where he's at, because he can't do anything else, and he only gave you classics.
He did enough.
And
he never gave you nothing but fire.
we won't get into that because
Yeah, we
I
will.
can go into that for like the next hour and a half about why Big should be 1 or 2 on your list.
All right, so real quick, Andre.
I'm with it.
Andre, where he falls? Top 10?
Top 5.
Top 10.
He in my top 5.
Everybody, I'm just gonna say top 10. That's in my top 10. I'm not gonna tell you where they fall because I feel like we're gonna have to get through
Spitter.
that now.
I can't
Nowhere
give
near
him
my top
8,
10.
1,
Okay.
2, 3,
That's
4.
just.
I can't.
I listen to way too many rappers, man. Like
Yeah.
I probably have like a top 200. Like if we
You
really
probably
got
do.
into it, like
Yeah.
I think I'm always sending y'all something like, "Yo, listen to this. This is project number 4." Y'all be
But
like,
I
"Who is
think
Buddy?"
if we were to actually
Yeah,
do
that's
this,
definitely how I feel with Odyssey.
if we were to
Yeah,
actually
definitely
do
put
this
me on
list,
Odyssey.
Odyssey's
legit,
gonna be up there for me. He's
I
probably
think-
second tier.
our top 5 would be different, but I think everything else.
And that's what
would
I'm saying.
probably
If we
be the
like
same.
looking at
I
those
guarantee it.
criteria,
Yeah,
looking
I
at those
guarantee it.
criteria, I wouldn't have no arguments on who's on your top 10 list. And that's what I'm saying. As long as they fall in that tier, you
Yeah.
put them wherever you want, 1 through 10, 15, whatever the list is.
I dig
But
it.
if they're in that tier, or we say that they qualify for that tier, or I think that they qualify from that tier from the body of work, then I have no. Because they're a top tier rapper, they can go anywhere. That's a matter of preference.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like Jeezy shouldn't be in your top 10
No.
No, not at all.
because the
He ain't there.
consistency,
But
like
if somebody has him in his top 10, I'm not gonna knock that dude for having him in his top 10.
I am.
Because look, you might first of all, if you got a
What
dude,
are you talking
if
about?
you got
Like,
a,
what?
it
Mr.
don't
Grits.
matter. So look, I'm never gonna tell somebody that
Yeah. Okay. Man, that was the coldest year I ever heard in my life.
they. But look,
like,
if
what?
that's what he knew, if
He the
that's what
coldest
grew-
ad libber of all
So
time.
look,
How you
but
not
if
your
this
top
dude-
5?
But if this dude grew up in Atlanta and all he knows
get you.
is
I got
drugs,
you.
he's in that's his culture. That's what he knows. That's what he does. And he's captivated by what Jeezy gave him. Okay, I'm cool with you
Jeezy
having.
captivating? Man.
That's them.
That's
I
that
can't
man.
even. I know. I'm just
That's
thinking.
them.
Just captivating.
I mean,
like,
it's
wow.
so it's the same way with okay, Sci-Hi got
It's underwhelming.
Sci-Hi got T.I. in his top 5. I don't.
T.I.'s a spitter though. Like,
I'm
I
not
could've-
saying he not. I'm not saying he not. But where he's from, that's what he was given. That's what I got. Oh, I got.
I'm serious.
I'm not saying it's a bad. I'm cool with it. T.I.
I know.
got mad hits.
I'm
But
just
on the
talking.
so on the flip side of that, in my top 10, I got probably like 2 or 3 Chicago guys, and other people not gonna have them there.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it Lupe?
Lupe, Common, and
I'm with you. Okay.
I got Lupe, Common, and Kanye. All in my top 10.
All top tier.
That's interesting.
So I mean, and then other people gonna be like, you got Kanye in your top 10? Like, yeah, I got Kanye in my top 10 because of what I grew up in the city listening to.
But the body of work is there.
Yeah.
It is.
The work is there, so it's not, especially early work. Even if you just want the rapidy rap, like
Exactly. That's what I'm
03
saying.
through 05,
I'm not
they
gonna
go.
knock nobody's opinion because I don't know what that music did to them or did for them.
I'm gonna knock it.
I
As
know
a
you
as a
I know you will.
as a hip hop connoisseur, as a hip hop snob, I'm gonna knock it. Like I'm not even gonna front, and we'll wrap it up with that. So, because we gonna
I
have
ain't
this
no
argument, huh?
I ain't no joke. Hoo-ha.
And we go back to Stefan's era hip hop
And then
again.
he drops them.
Right, and walks out.
You lie.
All right.
I'd rather watch
Worship.
I'd rather watch YouTube Illuminati videos than listen to
No, you don't want to watch that. Listen to the album, man. Don't set yourself up,
Right.
It's a rap. It's
Right.
a rap. It's a rap.
Don't set yourself up, B.
That's way too much for me.
Yeah, man, that's too
Man be
deep,
selling
man.
his soul.
That's too deep, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look back at it. Hey, I'm gonna have me a Lexus helicopter.
We back.
though.
We back, man. We back next week. If y'all want us to continue this argument, it can go all forever.
All day.
Because we had this argument all the time. That's why I'm not getting into who's on my list, because I know it'll go on for 2 hours. But all right, so we wrap it up. Any last party? One more thing you want to do instead of listening to M album?
I watch the Spike Lee joint Chirac. I would rather watch that.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that than listen to the M album.
I'd rather watch that than listen
That
to
musical.
That is an Eminem album.
That
Train
was so,
wrecks.
All right, y'all. We out. It's a wrap.
Peace.
Ooh, ah.